So I arrived in Paris in the middle of May, and I had been to Paris a few times before just on vacation, and so I felt like, oh, I already know Paris kind of well. But then I realized I was going to be living there, not just a simple vacation. And the mission president, his wife, and the assistants and office people, they came and met us at the airport. And for when I arrived at the mission, it was the biggest group that had ever arrived in France. There were 40 people, 40 of us in our group. There were, I think, 28 elders and 12 sisters. And so people from the Liahona in France, they came, like, took our picture and everything, and that was kind of exciting. I felt like a little celebrity. And then our tradition in our mission was that right when you got off the plane, they would give you a pain au chocolat. I said that in English. But it was just like this little tradition. It's this croissant with chocolate inside of it, which is just so good. And so we did that, and then they gave us a Book of Mormon, and they told us that we would be going on the metro to the heart of Paris, and that our challenge was to hand that out to someone. So me and my MTC companion, we thought that we could do that so well. And so we sat down on the metro in front of this lady, and she was so nice because neither of us could speak any French. I'm pretty sure I just spoke in English with a French accent. But she took the Book of Mormon, and I thought, okay, yeah, I can do this. If I can give a Book of Mormon away on my first day, then I can give lots of Book of Mormons away throughout the next 18 months. And then when I found out who my trainer was, it was really cool because I'd actually met her before our mission. We were both studying at BYU before our missions, and when we had gotten our calls, a bunch of us that were going to Paris, we met together. And so I had kind of known her a little bit, and then I found out I'd be starting my mission in Versailles, which was my second dream. I wanted to serve in Versailles so bad because I had known that that was where the mission home was. I knew that was where the temple was going to be, and it's just like my dream place. But my companion, my trainer, she had only been in France for a few weeks, for about, I think, 8 weeks. And so she didn't know the mission as well as someone that had been there for over a year, but she had spoken French really, really well and skipped pretty much the whole MTC. And so that was really cool for me to be someone that was young. She was younger than me in life, but had been a missionary for 6 weeks longer than me. So that was cool. Well, since I had been to France before, I didn't have that much of a culture shock. I had lived in Europe previously, and then I had visited Paris. And so I was used to a lot of smelling of smoke and just a different architecture. But realizing that in France, French is very different with each person you speak with. There's the African French, there's the Parisian French, there's the Belge French. So that was a little bit of a shock to me. I'd always thought French was just French, and it was the same whether you're in Canada or Tahiti or in Paris. But I learned quickly it's not.